Hello, welcome to the queue. Operation A View to a Kill. It is turn 16, January 44, and it is the KMT turn. They have $5. They're going to spend 3 on this infantry, saving 2. So I'll just slide those back. We'll save those 2. And I got the infantry in my hand, but we got one combat first. We have a Marine in Kwangtung and a fighter, and they will come out. The Marine comes across that narrow crossing there. So the Marine comes over, and the fighter comes over with a movement of 2 left. We'll see how that goes. All right, so let's do the attack. We've got, let's see, it's convoy rating dice. So we've got a Marine at a 2, unless, does it look like Hainan is a bunch of mountains? It does. So the Marine is at 1. How fascinating. All right, so a 1. It's the opposite. Well, it's not the opposite, but it's a miss. The fighter at 6. And that is a 6. All right, so we get the hit. Here's the moment of truth. Militia to 2. Thank you. I would have had to change my US buy. All right, so Hainan is now under Chinese control, or KMT, I guess. I'll knock everything over eventually. All right, so there's one Marine there. What did I drop? Oh, there it is, Japanese roundel. All right, so that will be it. Let's do some movements. We got this fighter heading back to Kwangtung. Out of Kwangtung, we've got 6 armor, which will go into Quichao. And we're going to move 3 artillery with it. What do I got here? I've got 4, 5. So I'm going to move 2 artillery. So these 2 artillery will move with it. No, I'll move 3. But what I need to do is chip these out. So this green chip here will need to be 3 artillery. So we can get 2 out of Szechuan there. We don't need those there. Let's put 2 chips. All right. So now we have to go back to Kwangtung with a total of 5. So with the gray chip. All right. So that's 3. So we're going to move 3 into Quichao with the medium artillery. And we're going to leave 2 in Kwangtung. The 2 cavalry, we'll move those as well because they're not going to defend much. All right. So that is Quichao. Now from Szechuan, we've got 3 artillery moving into Singhai, 3 infantry moving into Singhai, 1 anti-aircraft gun, and 2 cavalry. That leaves Szechuan open, but wait, it's time to place our units. Where did he go? Here he is. Our infantry will be placed here in Szechuan that we purchased. The ANZAC lent a militia upgrade, so we're going to upgrade this militia here in Xikang. So I'm going to need another gray chip to take one of those Chinese infantry. Let me see where the chips are here. All right, so let's take a infantry off the Kwangtung chart, and we'll put him there in Xikang. All right. And I believe that is the extent of the KMT turn. So let's do a recap. In Kwangtung, 4 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 militia, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 1 fighter. In Quichao, 6 armor, 3 artillery, 2 militia, 2 cavalry. Szechuan and infantry, Sikang and infantry, Yunnan 4 militia, and Singhai is blossoming. 4 cavalry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry, 1 mountain, 3 artillery, 1 anti-aircraft gun, and 2 militia. And the only thing that will be added to that will be the U.S. Lend-Lease. But now it's the U.S. turn. Well, no, let's collect some money. Collecting money. So we did go up 1 for Hainan. So Japan went down 1. China goes up to 4. All right, so we saved 2. So once again, I've got the camera way up there. I don't know what's happening here. All right, so there's the 2 we saved. We're going to collect 4. And then we have 2 from the Burma Road. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have 8 next turn. Juicy. All right. Let's go on to the U.S. turn. We have 76 to spend. We've got an advancement of our large battleship. We're going to place a light cruiser, a destroyer. We're going to finish our heavy cruiser off the build chart. We've got 2 artillery, and this here is to remind me if I roll for advanced artillery, if I'm successful, I'm going to change those out. We got an infantry going in England. We got a sub going out on the Midway. We've got 2 militia upgrades, 2 militia. We're going to finish the port on, where is that? Wake Island. We're going to place a fighter out in San Francisco. And Lend-Lease, China, a fighter, and Britain, looks like a Firefly, medium armor. So let's roll for some stupid tech. Keep rolling stupid tech, getting stupid results. All right, let's see. So nothing's really changed because I don't get very much. Artillery, factories, and radar all at 7s. Let's see what we get. Damn it. Oh my. All right, so now we're on to the 8s. Heavy armor, jets, and logistics. I don't know why we're trying for logistics, but we're going to give it a try anyway. All right, so that's all 3, right? They're all 8s. So all 3 of those. So that's good news. So heavy armor. Where's heavy armor? Heavy armor goes up to 3. Oh, jets is finished. I'll have to change my buy. And logistics. Oh, I was hoping that was rockets. Oh, logistics is a 9. Oh, no, it's an 8 in 4.1. That got lowered. Okay. All right, so the last one is rockets for a 9. And, oh, nuts. One of them was and one of them wasn't. Doggone it. Okay. All right, so that means we've got jets. So we're going to take off the fighter, place a jet. We got to scrap 2 from somewhere, so this militia goes away. So that is a fighter for 10, militia for 2, trading it out for a jet. That will be equal. And I think that's all I want to do this turn. All right, so let's do some combat. And we have combat. We've got our standard 3 submarines rating. Down here, we've got in New Britain at a port, 2 infantry. They come out of port, 1, 2, 3 into P61. And we'll land here in Java with 2 infantry. Supporting that will be a fighter and a tactical. And they fly over 1, 2, 3. They'll have a movement of 2 left each. But wait, there's more. We've got a transport in Kuwait, which grabs an infantry artillery. Get that marker out of there. 1, 2, 3. Hangs out with the British fleet. And they will come in from this part of the sea zone. Now that artillery will be round 2 on the attacks. Hopefully there's not a round 2. That That's our first attack in the Pacific, our second attack, and our third attack. This strategic heavy bomber will come out of Queensland 1, 2, grab the parachute infantry, 3, 4, 5, 6, and has a movement of 2 left. And we'll take the southern island of the Philippines. So it goes back to the U.S., and that is a walk-on. So I will do that math right now. So we'll go up to 65, down to 38. All right. All right, so that is it for the Pacific. We are done. The Italians kicked our butt into Africa, so we're done there. Let's go all the way up, finish off the Norway campaign. All right, so out of Svalbard, I'm reading upside down, Svalbard. Anyway, this northern island, 1, 2, 3, a medium bomber. We have a fighter here in northern England with an air base, 1, 2, 3. We have a transport in Ireland, which will come out here in A17. We'll grab the mountain infantry and the infantry, 1, 2 into A7, and that will be the assault there. And to clean up Norway just for cleanliness, this paratrooper in northern Norway will come down 1, and that's a walk-on into Trongladale. Worth nothing except I need it gone. All right, non-com. I think that's it for the fights. So let's go roll some dice. And there is 1 German infantry defending in Norway. So let me, we'll roll that battle first while I got it in my mind here. We've got a bomber, medium bomber at a 7. A fighter at a 6. Oh, a mountain infantry at a 2. Dirtbag. And an infantry at a 1. And that's a 2. All right, so we just missed on all of them. Well, maybe not the medium bomber. So German infantry at a 4. 6. All right, so everyone missed. No harm, no foul. All right, round 2. Let's start from the other angle now. Let's go with the infantry at a 1. The mountain infantry at a 2. The fighter at a 6. Okay, changing dice. The bomber at a 7. There we go. We got the hit. Germans defend at a 4. And that is a 9 or a 6. 9. Didn't matter either way. All right, so let's move Germany down 1 and U.S. up 1. And I'll deal with that when I go do non-coms. So I don't have to walk on the other side of the map again. All right, so the next battle is going to be, well, that's a walk-on. Java, and then our convoying. So Java is that mountainous? Kind of looks like it might be. Yeah, I think so. So those are 3 1s. There's 2 militia defending. So let's get some new dice, because whatever I was rolling before is terrible. All right, 3 at 1. Oh, a 2 and a 3. All right, so now the fighter's at a 6. Tactical at a 7. So I got 1 hit. All right, coming back at me is 2 militia at 2, and they miss. All right, 3 at 1 for round 2. Oh my gosh. Fighter at 6. Tactical at 7. There we go. Java is now in U.S. hands. There's 1 militia to defend and 11. All right, so good news. Didn't lose anybody this time. Well, of course, we didn't fight any Italians either. So, all right, so that, as I reach in front of the camera, is a 2-pointer. So we got that. Oh, that artillery would have been on the second round. Oh, well. Just for grins, would that artillery have hit at a 2? Nope. All right, so that would be 2. So we're up to 68. I think 36 for Japan. All right, so let's do non-com. While we're here, these planes have 2 left, so they will just come out 1 into the C zone. The carrier will come over, and the destroyer from P64. 1, 2. And that's what that looks like. All right, so a lot of pressure on that sub right there. Oh, you know what? I forgot to roll the convoy. Let's roll the convoy. Let's see. All right, so red is Japan, green is US, +2 to US. So that's 5 to 2. So the first sub does 3 damage. And the second sub is 2 more, and I think that's it. So the other sub doesn't do anything. Well, let's see what it would have done. Oh, wow, it was a good convoy rating all around. All right, so let's finish our non-combats. Let's see, we got to land this medium, or this heavy strategic bomber. He'll come out into P50 and then into Siam. It's got an air base there, so that'll be good. While we're over here, this medium bomber in Aden, 1, 2, 3, 4, into Siam as well. There's quite the Air Force stacking up there. That's it. Something in Africa I was going to do. Oh, the Marine is going to go into Tripoli. That's pretty much it. I'll get the rest on that side when I get there. All right. So otherwise, on this side of the map, let's get this stuff out of the way. We've got a fighter on the Marshall Islands that will fly 1, 2, 3 onto Wake Island. We're going to leave all this in port here. Yep. I had a marker to bring this out, but I took that fighter off, so don't need it. All right. Secondly, we've got a transport here in P22 in port. He'll grab an infantry and a marine and come up 1, 2, 3 up to a 2 Kiska. And what else you say we got going up there? We've got a... Are we putting that medium bomber up there? No, we're not. Or tactical bomber. So import is a carrier in P22. It will come over to P29. The tactical bomber will land on the carrier. All right, so there will be something import there. This transport that is in P25 grabs the Marine, comes over to Midway, drops him off, and goes in port. All right, so we've got these 2 subs here in P25. I've got the sub base, so 1, 2, 3, 4. They will also go up into P4. The heavy cruiser, well, let's see. We're going to leave the 4 subs in P22, and the entire fleet will back up 1 to Pearl Harbor here. And this heavy cruiser comes over and joins the force. All right. And once again, I think the camera was off again. All right, so that's all in P29. That's in port. We have a fighter here in San Francisco. That will come over 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and land on Midway. So hopefully that was in the viewfinder. Get that flight stand off. All right, so the Pacific. Yeah, we're in that C zone there. All right, that is it for the Pacific moves, correct? Yes. All right. Coming over here to the Europe side, we've got this Grumman here, or is that a Hellcat? I think that might be a Hellcat. It's squared off, so I think it's a Hellcat. He comes flying out of Tunisia, 1, 2, 3, lands on this carrier, boots off the P-47. P-47's going somewhere else. He's coming up north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into northern England. And I'm going to have to go to the other side of the map for the rest of this. All right. So we've got strategic naval movement. Let's knock that out. We've got an attack transport that's here in Narvik port. So he'll come out of port. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A-25, and he'll go in port here in New York. We're going to rail up this militia that'll be upgraded to a regular infantry. The other strategic nav, I have 3 total, so the other one will be this transport in Portugal, which will come out. 1, grab the artillery in French Morocco. 2, 3, 4, 5, drop the artillery off in northern England. Go in port here in Ireland, Northern Ireland. Couldn't think of what that was. What else do I have here? I've got this air transport that's in southern England. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grabs the airborne. 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's alone in southern England. So that's not exciting. I don't think I like that. Let's see if I can do that differently. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have long-range aircraft and at an air base, so that's 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to come back there. We're just going to stay down here in Portugal with that transport and paratrooper, just because I don't want to be alone in southern England. That could be a problem. And I guess I could bring over an infantry. Yeah, let's do that. He'll come back. Sorry about that. So he comes back 4. So he lands in southern England because we've got 3 fighters here at this. There's an air base here, right? Yeah, so we'll have a scramble. We'll put the artillery in southern England instead of northern. We've got this fighter coming back. He comes back to northern England. The bomber will also come back to northern England with that air base. This guy was destroyed. That's now the U.S. Transport's out there in the C zone. All right, so I've got this transport here in Narvik in port. He'll come out 1, 2, 3, and he'll go in port in northern England. I guess I can put those on there. All right, so that is all the movements. We're going to leave our destroyers there. Or are we going to move the destroyers? I think we're good with the destroyers up there. All right, and these guys are doing nothing. All right, grab all these. That looks like it for the movement. So let's do some placement, and I'll stretch the table for this one instead of walking around here again. All right, so let's do the Pacific side of the map first. We've got a sub coming into this shipyard here in P22. We have, let's see, the jet fighter goes in San Francisco. The heavy cruiser, destroyer, and light cruiser go into P25. We're going to move our heavy battleship up to stage 2. And the Lend-Lease fighter from the U.S. comes across with open seas into Kwangtung. So we'll have 2 fighters in Kwangtung now. One of these anti-aircraft guns is following the armor. So slight change on the non-combat move for China. So that puts one anti-aircraft gun in each territory. All right, so I've got a upgrade and a militia that goes in here to midway. So we'll just leave that militia there. The rest goes on the other side of the board. We've got a upgrade to the militia, infantry, artillery, and the Lend-Lease medium armor. And that will be, oh, this port's finished here in Wake. So we'll put that there. All right, so coming to the Europe side of the board for our final placement. We had an artillery going in here in Portugal. Up here in New York, we have an artillery placement and then our militia upgrade. So we'll get rid of that militia. Put them out there. Finally, in Lend-Lease, we come out of New York straight across here to northern England, which is pretty well defended. The problem is, do I need that there? I think we'll put him in northern England as well. Yeah. Although, let's just put him in London to be safe. All right, put him in London. All right, so I think that is it. Let me get that out of here with these markers. Time for some, I'll start the recap here and then do the money at the end. Northern Norway is a armor, marine, infantry. 2 destroyers in A8. Really isn't anything that can attack them, so. Trongledale is an airborne. Southern Norway is a mountain infantry and an infantry. A7 is a transport. Northern England is a transport and port, 2 fighters. Southern England is air transport, airborne, infantry, artillery. London, 2 infantry. Got a transport in Northern Ireland in port. New York has a attack transport in port, infantry, artillery. Portugal has a marine, infantry, artillery, and a militia. The sea zone there in A44 has not changed. French Morocco is an infantry. Tunis is an infantry, a marine in Tripoli. Let's go to the other side of the world. And the Middle East is void of U.S. influence now. In Siam, heavy strat bomber, medium bomber. Java, 3 infantry, artillery. Sea zone I-13. The Indian Ocean is a transport. P-61 is a transport. Destroyer, fighter, tactical, fleet carrier. And Marshall Islands is an infantry, militia, marine, medium armor. In port is a destroyer and a attack transport. Wake Island has a militia and a fighter. 2 submarines in P-36. Oh, this is marked. The 2 coastal subs move from P-26 to P-35. P-34 is 3 fleet subs that did 5 in damage to the Japanese convoy line. In Sea Zone P-29 is a carrier, a tactical, 4 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, 4 destroyers. And in Sea Zone P-25 is a heavy cruiser, light cruiser, destroyer. San Francisco is a jet and a militia. Midway is infantry, marine, 2 marines. No, I think that's a mountain. Yeah, that's black. Yeah. All right, so 1 mountain, 1 marine, 1 infantry, 1 militia, 1 fighter. Import is a attack transport. In C-Zone P22 is 5 subs. And finally, in AVtaK is a militia, infantry, marine. In C-Zone P4 is 2 subs and a transport. And there's some militia scattered around in some various places. I think that is it. So let's look at our cache, which is now something different. We're up to 68. So what do we got here? That's 60. So let's get a 5 spot. 68 and 12 will be 80. So the US will be at 80, 8 for China, and that is the end of the turn there. Next up will be turn 17, and that will be Germany with its continuing struggles with the Russians. We'll see what plays out there. And Panzer J will have that up shortly.